my name's Axel.
My name's Mike Stalaska.
And you're watching Examining the Expanse. So season 3 is kind of broken into two parts. First 6 episodes follows the Rocinante crew's adventures to save May May.
Meow meow.
And then the last 7 episodes are the shenanigans within the space gate.
Are they? Oh yeah, because then the 4th season's when they get on the planet?
That's where they're on that planet doing all that stuff. So yeah, this very much felt like a season finale in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it tied up a fucking heap of
It
stuff.
ties up
because then
a bunch of stories.
Then the next episode they jump forward in time, right?
Yeah. Naomi's like on Prospero Station doing stuff. Everyone's moved on. And then a whole nother thing starts.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it
Non-linear.
might be. I know that season 1 was book 1, and then season 2 was the last half of book 1 and the first half of the second book.
Okay.
So the seasons don't end where the books do.
Yeah.
So that might be what's going on here. That might be why there's.
They've transcribed them based on what content they have rather than some sort of like arbitrary line.
Yeah. They're giving the story enough time. If 10 episodes isn't enough to tell the first book, then tell it in 15 and continue on. Yeah, so there are a bunch of storylines that get wrapped up here. A whole bunch within like 42 minutes. It's actually pretty impressive. Naomi gets some redemption for betraying the crew with the Fred Johnson thing.
Yeah, that all comes around.
Prax and May May finally get reunited after so long. We get the end of Aaron Wright and all that Tom Clancy like political intrigue storyline.
Secretary Aaron Wright is under arrest for treason. Get him out of my sight.
What else happened? There's a bunch of stuff there.
Bobby.
Bobby gets revenge for our fucking team. Alex trying to save his family, which they set up. The bodyguard, fucking, what's his name? Kochier. He gets his end here.
He gets his comeuppance.
It's just effective storytelling to have all of these elements play out in 42 minutes. So many characters, so many storylines wrapped up.
It's quite neatly tied together, really, when you think about it.
And it's cutting from this like high pace action with Bobby fighting the proto-molecule monster to like boring like courtroom scenes of the political intrigue and I have a video of you trying to assassinate the undersecretary while you're arrested. And then it's cutting back to like this big emotional highs with Prax and May May reunited. So all the editing is great. The pace, as always, is very fast, very quick, but not too quick or confusing.
You wouldn't feel like they've tried to needlessly like tie up all those loose ends, right?
Nothing is forced.
No.
We've got all these like emotional beats that have been set up for max impact here. So they're taking all the time to set up all these characters
and the impact
storylines.
is huge.
Of
every single sort of like.
It's super fulfilling to see Bobby blow the like brain stem off of that thing. Finally, like this whole time she's been in this horrible rut of her team being murdered and destroyed.
She wasn't strong enough to defeat this thing, and
she comes across the Rossi crew and they defeated one, and she's like, how the hell did you defeat one? So that is super satisfying. It's great to see Prax and his daughter reunited because they've spent so much time building up these characters and their emotions behind it.
May!
Daddy!
You're like, it's like, it's a truly emotional moment, right? Because you give a shit about these characters.
Everyone's been angry at Naomi for so long, and now she...
Well, the fucking missiles, right? How long ago did they set up the missiles for this, right? For specifically to overcome this one obstacle.
Yeah, when did Fred Johnson get all those things?
Season 2?
Yeah, ages ago.
So they've been sitting there right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, okay, well, here's the missiles.
It's not like Game of Thrones, where they just forgot about the Iron Fleet.
don't start on fucking Game
The
of Thrones
showrunners
again.
and the writers of the books actually remember all the things that they've set up.
It's just a matter of. Yeah, it's like it's so seamless that you're not thinking about, oh well, is that contrived? That it's not like in another hypothetical poorly written show, right? The missiles would have been sort of contrived and arbitrary.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they weren't. They were there, and they all.
They had a purpose.
Which and the missiles themselves were set up.
Yeah.
Like as the gears were put in motion for that to happen ages ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Even just little things like in episodes previous to this one, they've gone to the effort of setting up the fact that Alex's family is on Mars and he loves his family. So then when all these proto-molecule hybrid monsters are shot out towards Mars, you got that little emotional beat.
Mm-hmm.
And just the end of season 2 where we see what one of these hybrids can do and how intense and strong they are. And then we have fucking 30 or 40 of them.
And
we have the setup for all of these things.
Yeah, that's the ticking clock, and that's the stakes. The stakes are set up. The stakes are established well in advance of the actual obstacle appearing on screen.
I guess it's one of the things about having the books. You know where it's all going to end up, so you can, if you think something's important later down on the track, spend the time and effort to develop it and make the audience understand.
And when you do it right, it's seamless.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic story writing. When you really think about the sort of logistics it takes to not only like resolve all those things so quickly and so thoroughly.
Yeah.
But
42 minutes to wrap up 6 ongoing story arcs.
Like large story arcs.
Yeah. Season wide story arcs. So Steve, what is your 2 cents on the old Cass Anvar allegations and the future of the Expanse moving forward?
We should talk about this.
Jasper and I talked about it extensively.
I thought when you said
quite heavy-handedly.
I thought when you said and they set up that he had a family on Mars or whatever. It's like I thought you were going to say, and that will make it easy for them to send him straight back to Mars when they cut him from the show.
Well, one thing that I would like to talk about is it's incredibly difficult to separate what the actor has done from the character when you're watching the show. I don't know how many people have watched the show since the stuff's come out, but while we're sitting there watching it and you see him,
it was this.
Your mind is just like, no.
From the last episode that you and I did, I watched to this episode. It's like I'm watching this episode, I couldn't help but make little comments about the predator. The alleged predator. I don't know. Look, I think that the allegations are damaging to the PR of the show and Amazon, and I think they're going to get rid of him. I think that the writers are competent enough to get rid of him in a way that's seamless. I was reading that they changed the actor for some character early on in the piece, and people didn't react to it well.
What, before they filmed?
Well, no. Like they'd run however many episodes and then they recast somebody. I don't know who that is. Apparently that's a thing, and apparently there was fan backlash to that.
Christian Navasarala's husband changes actors.
That must be him then. Apparently people reacted badly to that. But
it's always jarring. But I mean, the shit happens, you know.
The context that I saw that discussion happening in is that they've probably learnt. From their mistakes in how they handle that. So I would prefer that they just wrote him out of the show or replaced him with someone or did something.
I don't think. I mean, maybe his character going forward in further seasons would have big arcs and beats, but I think maybe it would be better to write his character out rather than recast him.
I've read, again, just reading discussions and people that have read the books and stuff like that. I think that there is the going consensus seems to be that there is leeway for them to get rid of him. In some sort of in an elegant fashion.
The books are very Holden centric, and a lot of the times the Rossi crew is just kind of there doing their thing, whereas the show tried to incorporate them more into it. So yeah, I know Naomi has a lot of stuff coming up in further books and seasons, but if fucking Alex doesn't, then here's our new pilot, Phil! Episode 1 of season 6. Hey, Phil!
It'll be like Stargate, where there's like an ensemble of like reoccurring actors that just play different characters around the 12 seasons or something.
Run out of fucking actors.
Run out of actors. But you've noticed that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Stargate.
Well, yeah, when you're doing the episodic thing like Stargate, fucking 24 episodes per season, 10 seasons. Canada ran out of actors. So you have all these actors coming in from different things, which, you know, shows their range, I guess. And I'm fine with it.
As to the actual, like, you know, I don't want to touch on the allegations too much, right? I haven't actually, like, reviewed the evidence. I'm not really going to.
I don't care about him or, like, defending him or anything. I think there's so many allegations.
I'm not interested in defending him. Yeah.
It's not one person saying it. There's several people that have come out and said that he's done things. So it's like, he's gone. Yeah. Let's think about the show and the future of the show.
Yeah, well, it has to be
brush him under the carpet.
If the allegations are credible enough, again, I'm not really going to touch on whether they are or not. I haven't looked into it, right? If they are, the actors themselves, the main cast have expressed their sort of like displeasure at things like that, right? That they probably wouldn't be supportive if the allegations are credible enough as well, right? You wouldn't want to cause friction between your main cast, it all sort of goes on. Yeah, it has to be, well, you know, not only is Amazon running a business, right? It has to be about the future of the show. So whatever's best for the show, and if you're creating a lot of friction by having him there, then get rid of it.
I don't think in this modern political landscape, if the stuff is confirmed, you can keep him on the show.
Absolutely.
He's gone.
No.
He's out. You're fucked up. You got this great fucking thing going on, and you just had to fucking wreck it.
Just couldn't help himself.
Well, the only thing I hope they don't do is because they filmed all of season 5, they're just in post-production. I hope they just leave him in that, not to delay it any further. Then season 6, do something.
The idea of like retroactively, you know, trying to...
well then, you're going to go back to season 1 to 4 and...
it's like how far do you go to try and scrub him from the show?
From all existence.
Right, it's like, no, just fucking, you know, and just get rid of him. That's it. Right?
One throwaway line. Oh, Alex choked on your soup.
It's like The Sopranos, with the mother, but instead of that, it'll be some like a random actor that gets thrown out of an airlock with his face.
Or like the South Park thing where the actor that played Chef left, and they got all of his old lines and like cut them into his dialogue.
I want to fuck your asshole. That's funny. Now that is what's the saying where you lean into it? That's leaning into it. Those guys. Do you know this is South Park talk now?
That's fine.
Well, so I was actually reading up on that not that long ago. What actually happened there? And like. It was what I believed, or what I was led to believe, was that he went crazy, right? He went off and did like Scientology and stuff, and sort of it was he took great offense to them making fun of Scientology and all this sort of stuff, and apparently that wasn't true, right? And it was literally. It was either like Scientology people on his behalf, or it was like his family members who were knee deep in Scientology that was sort of like while he was very sick, right, he'd had like a stroke or something, they were sort of like batting on his behalf, trying to insert, you know, he's deeply offended by the blah 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 of Scientology, and then like his daughter, I guess, came out like after he'd passed away, and was like, no, You know, this was all crap.
Yeah.
So,
that makes sense, knowing what Scientology is. Same thing happened to Stan Lee towards the end of his fucking days.
Oh, the stuff surrounding Stan Lee was crazy,
and people were using him as a mouthpiece. Well, Stan wants this. Stan wants
Someone
to do this.
was collecting his blood or something.
There was a bunch of shit going on. The sad, poor old man that people are just abusing because he's 100 years old.
And he's got like a bazillion fucking dollars.
And he can't like fucking
do anything.
because he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's sad. That's very sad.
People. This is the thing that keeps on propping up for me. They shoot in this location in Canada that they shot in for X-Men 1. And I just watched that film so much as a kid. There's like an opening scene with like Charles Xavier and Eric Lenscher like having that conversation. And it's in that same political building where like the Secretary of Defense is and that hippie space chick. Yeah. So every time they show those like cross beams, my brain is just like...
It's the same building, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
My brain's just like, this is a location in Canada. This isn't the Earth in 2000 whatever.
Eric. What are you doing here? Why do you ask questions to which you already know the answers? Don't give up on them, Eric.
You gotta, where's your suspension of disbelief, Alex?
It's gone.
You can sit there and look at the pine forests of like the multiple worlds that the SG team goes to.
They explained it, Steve. The ancients only seeded planets that had Canadian pine forests on them. All right, they only built the gate system on Canadian pine forest planets. Why would you build a gate system on a ice planet?
On a non-Canadian pine forest?
Doesn't make sense, Steve. The ancients.
They collected one plant and it was fucking pine trees from Canada, and that's what they.
What we're talking about, by the way, is the fact that every planet in SG1 is a Canadian pine forest.
Vancouver, isn't it?
Yeah. They're not even pine trees, probably. We don't know trees, but they're a type of trees.
Oh no, it would be
like a red.
It's a fern something. I think it's like a fern tree. Yeah.
It's the same forest in every planet for 10 seasons.
I'm trying to think. Actually, is it? Yeah, I believe it is. Right, like even all the way up to.
Like season 10, they're still going to those planets. Which they kind of explain. They like say the ancients.
Oh, well, no, that's fucking
suspension of disbelief.
I know it's there. I'm looking at it. I see you, Vancouver Pine Forest. I see you.
Yeah, and I see you, Vancouver Art Gallery.
I fought to save Earth. And you fought to save yourself. The planet deserves better than you.
This whole fucking sequence with that slimy doctor guy trying to wiggle his ray out of that situation, and Amos in one of his most iconic and memorable moments of "I am that guy" killing him is just so fucking satisfying.
The when he gets what's his face to put down the gun, it's that guy. It's like it's tangible, this character.
Yeah,
right?
well, they've set up all this stuff with like Amos taking Prax under his wing and like teaching him the way of the warrior. But in the end, it's like, no, his character isn't that fucking psychopathic murderer. No. He's a plant guy trying to save his daughter. No. So you got all these great character setup moments and story beats which are just well written.
Yeah.
And then we get the fucking climax, which is fucking amazing. I'm really glad that the actor that plays Amos didn't do any of that, because it would suck if he was recast.
That was I mean, out of all the characters and the actors that could have been like a creepy, an alleged creepy molester.
It's good that it was Cass and not Wes Chapman.
Yeah.
guy who plays Holden or anything.
Oh, well, the show would be over.
You can't recast Holden.
You could.
They can't recast Amos. But you can kill off Alex.
Yeah, he's gone. So yeah, that whole sequence was very excellent, right? It's always nice to see someone like a character get their comeuppance, right?
Yeah, especially when they're that slimy, despicable.
Yeah. Right to the end too. Yeah. Right to the end. No, I saved.
Yeah, he was trying his best.
Well, he blew away the other chick that was with him or whatever as well. He's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. You know, we'll trade the kids for our lives. Like, yeah, go do that.
It's okay. I got her. The children are safe. Don't shoot.
I started rewatching The Sopranos for like the 5th time. And the episode I watched last night was when Chrissy is booting up heroin and he sits on Adriana's dog.
Oh, that's right.
And then she comes home and she's like, where are you? Blah, blah. And she sees him and without missing a beat, Christopher's like, oh, she must have gotten cold and tried to crawl underneath a wall without missing a beat. He's just trying to save his skin. No. I didn't sit on the dog and murder it because I'm high on heroin. It tried to crawl under me to save itself, and this guy does the exact same thing.
Yeah, without missing a beat.
I was there for May. I saved her life.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You're so transparent in every way. You're a fucking snake with a lab coat on.
I am that guy.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. Again, that's another satisfying. It's satisfying to watch him get what he's due.
Yeah.
It's a bullet.
Absolutely. And only because they spend so much time showing how slimy and disgusting he is. Old Man Mao, Jules Pierre, he had kind of more depth. There were moments where he felt sympathetic for Mei Mei because she reminded him of his daughters.
They gave depth to that villain, right?
Because I remember like the first 2 seasons he was just kind of evil man. And, curling his mustache, twirling his mustache. It's like, why are you doing this? And in the end, he did side with that. He was like sympathetic to Mei Mei, but then he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's figure out this proto-molecule thing. That's what I really care about.
Well, that is what he is, right? He made the decision. When it was even after his daughter died or whatever, he found out that his daughter died.
As a result of his fucking meddlings and experiments.
So. You know,
and that's his storyline completely wrapped up and gone in this episode too, as well.
Yeah, I don't think we see him again.
No.
He's in prison. Well, but by extension, his daughter,
his other daughter comes into the mix.
Is still going, right?
Yeah. Which she's trying to get revenge on Holden.
Yeah. I love that. That's another. That all goes into like complexities with the character and stuff like that, and motivations and stuff.
When they go through the space gate into the slow zone, I was just like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life."
Well, by that point, it's escalated so much, right?
Yeah. Well, she's on one of the ships, and she's got her, and there's like 12 things playing out while they're in this fucking world, and you're just like. This is so off the wall and crazy and absurd and amazing.
It goes from like 0 to fucking 10,000.
Yeah, it goes from like fucking space marines shooting at space monsters to like this other fucking realm, this different world.
All the different physics and Holden hallucinating and all this sort of stuff. It's just
everything slows down and all the ships, all the people like fuck are they? That great thing with the drummer and the other older guy, they're fucking dynamic playing out between who should lead the ship. You know, that old grizzled New Zealand guy with the face burn.
Yeah.
They're both pinned doing their thing. But anyway, we're not there yet. We're not there. So yeah, basically in conclusion, a really effective storytelling to see like 6 major storylines all wrap up satisfyingly in 42 minutes.
Yeah.
You think about Game of Thrones, season 8.
Don't talk to me about Game of Thrones.
They had, 8 hours to wrap up? all these storylines, they were incapable of doing it.
Just completely, yeah. Just could not wrap up a single storyline
in any satisfying manner whatsoever.
And even the most sort of... don't get me started on Game of Thrones. I don't want to talk about Game of Thrones.
And here we've got 42 minutes of television with all these characters.
Forethought and planning.
Yeah,
that's all it is, right? It all makes logical sense.
Set up, payoff. Yeah. It's simple, basic writing 101.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Time and effort into the characters, their mentality.
When you think about the logistics. Right, the logistics of managing all the story threads, and having it all interact in like a believable way in a believable world with characters that have depth and nothing that's contrived and It's like a juggling act. It's a huge juggling act.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And they've done it and they did it and it worked, right? And it continues to work. That's it. That's all you can say about it, right? And all it does is distinguish itself, right, from things like serials, you know, it's not. It doesn't have like a format, right? You're not watching for the sort of the predictable formats, right? It distinguishes itself from schlock. Right. It's not
taking
schlocky.
Everything seriously, the subject matter completely,
and getting
seriously.
away with it. Right? It's hard. That's hard to do. That's it. That's all you can say about it, right? It's a show, right? It's a TV show. That works and works well. That's it, right? It's not something that's it's just a TV show.
Effective storytelling.
Yeah, that's it, right? And that's good. That's what we want.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
They've managed to write a good show.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Can they stick the landing? The writers of the books said if Amazon is happy, they'd be happy to do 9 seasons.
That's a long time.
So we might not even be halfway through at this point.
How many seasons did Breaking Bad have? 8, wasn't it?
6, maybe? 5 or 6. I think The Sopranos had 6.
And even
Game of Thrones had 8.
Even all of them, started to towards the end.
They got to the point where they ended it because they knew you can only go so far with that formula.
Yeah. So.
But presumably the books continue to throw everything up in the air and change the game and keep the ideas and the formula fresh enough.
Everybody thought that Game of Thrones was going to be the show that says, hey, books to TV show.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking work.
No.
Expanse might be that show.
Well, they will have the books. So that's a thing.
Because
books will exist for them just to adapt.
No, because that's what we're waiting for. Right?
Yeah.
We're waiting for them to actually for there to be a TV show that starts and finishes, right? Based on books that excels at doing that.
If they could tell like an 8-season or a 9-season arc that's satisfying, fulfilling of this level of quality.
Forget about it.
Yeah, it's like that is on par with the Lord of the Rings trilogy or any other piece of cinema. Fuck you, Gone with the Wind, Expanse all the way. Casablanca, you suck!
I've never watched Gone with the Wind.
Neither have I, but frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Frankly, my dear, I don't... Wasn't there a war in here somewhere?
Humphrey Bogart. Alright, thank you for watching. Really how you guys like, subscribe, and quality entertainment, please.